Hey guys, this is Fia from Fia's Handmade Soaps again, and I'm back with a hot process video this time. I am doing a coffee soap, and I'm using the fragrance coffee latte from New York Scent. It smells delicious. It smells, I was looking for a coffee fragrance that actually smelled like strong coffee, but I wasn't sure. I wound up getting, I thought this might be it, but actually it smells like, it does smell like a caramel latte of some sort. But it smells really good, so I was like, well, hey, I'm going to go with it. Yeah, it smells like caramel latte. It smells so good. And what I have to put in there is some coffee butter. I got this coffee butter a while ago from Brambleberry, I think. Yes, I got this a long time ago from Brambleberry. This is going to be my super fat. And I'm adding some coconut milk at the end. Yeah, you know how to add some liquid at the end, which is coconut milk. I have some coffee grounds that, I brewed the coffee that I use to, that I mixed with the live water is coffee. I brewed 3 cups, and then I poured the coffee back into the reservoir in this little $11 coffee pot. I put it back into the reservoir, and then I put in a fresh coffee grounds, and then I brewed it again. So it was really, really strong. And when I weighed it out, I needed about 19.20 ounces of liquid of coffee, but it didn't come to that. It came to like 15 ounces, so I was like, damn, either I brew some more coffee or what do? I didn't want to add extra water regular water, so since I'm already putting coconut milk into the batch, I just topped it off with coconut milk in the coffee to bring it up to 19.20 ounces for my liquid. And mixed that in and then froze those in ice cubes. That's what I did with that. So, and what else am I doing? I don't know. Yeah, it's not going to be all brown. I'm going to try to have at least 3 colors in there. It won't, some titanium dioxide, it won't be white because I'm adding a fragrance to it. So it'll probably be more like a cream looking color, I hope. So we'll see. And the third color, besides regular brown, of course, because once you put the fragrance in, it's going to turn brown. The third color is going to be like this is yellow oxide from Brambleberry, but when you mix it with everything, it's not really going to look yellow. It should probably look more like a caramel, because once the fragrance get to it, it'll turn it, it won't be bright or anything. The brownness from the fragrance will get in there, and should look like a nice caramel color mixed in. I'm actually still not sure whether I really want to use that, but we'll see. Alright, let's get to it. I have my coffee and a little bit of coconut milk mixed with my lye. And I'm going to just pour it in there. First of all, I'm tripping because I almost poured that in there, but little old me, I have my bowl of actual regular soft oils, the shea butter in here. I almost poured it in there. I'm looking like, where's the rest of the oils? It's sitting right here. No, I didn't. I forgot to put this in there. I keep the soft oils separate at first and put the chunky, hard oils in there to melt down. And then I add the soft oils afterwards when everything's melted. Looks good. The shea butter always has some like brown or whatever stuff at the bottom. That's how it comes in. Well, the old shea butter. I didn't like the way the shea butter came in from a group I had joined, a pre-buy group that was, it was sort of like a butter pre-buy group, and when it finally came in after waiting so long for it, it looked dingy and gray. I didn't like it, so I left that group and knew I wasn't going to buy from there again. I usually get my shea butter from eBay from the Plant Guru, and it comes in nice and white or like a cream color and not dirty or dingy and gray looking. So I said I was just going to continue to buy my shea butter from them instead. Okay, here we go. Temperature 98. Temperature of the coffee 73. Even though it really doesn't matter whether you take the temperature for high process or not. Yeah, got some stragglers. I'm glad I strained it. I'm not sure what it's from. Something, you know, hanging back in the lye. Glad I strained it. First of all, this cardboard should be under the pot, where it should be. So I'm going to try and move this stuff over. Let's see if I can get this pot on there. Over a little bit. Because you never know. You never know. Might spill or whatever. Just put this away here. Yeah. Burping the slip blender. Getting those air bubbles out. It up a little too high. Yeah, nice chocolate brown color. So I cooked my soap-on high, and I used to not stick blend, but that made my videos too long. So I started stick blending the soap for you guys' benefit. I still like to make my hot process with a whisk instead of stick blender. But to speed up the video, I really have to get a good editing program. I'm not sure which one to get. I want one that's easy to use and not all complicated, but I have to research some editing programs. Until then, I'm stuck with YouTube editing. And YouTube, you can't edit, you can't fast forward certain spots of your video. If you're going to fast forward the video, it's going to fast forward the whole thing. Yep. We're getting to thick trace. Holding on to that button for a long time just makes my hand hurt. Yeah, getting the thick trace. See that? There you go. What I should have did was, because I have some titanium dioxide, I should have mixed that first before I actually mixed the soap. I should have, but I didn't. Because I didn't. Alright, where's my titanium dioxide? I still didn't get my cup of water or anything. Oh, snap. Damn it! I pressed the wrong button. Oh, wait, did I press the wrong button? Oh, yeah, I think I did. Okay, I take your picture. Oh, I gotta get me a new camera. So I have some titanium dioxide in here with some coconut milk, and I have this little container in the top, and I cut a hole out to fit my stick blender in there. So that's what I'm going to do, is to stick blend my titanium dioxide. This way to try and cut down on the splash because I try and use bare minimum as much as I can of liquid, because this coconut milk I need in my recipe at the end to make it, to keep it fluid. So, but I need something to disperse the titanium dioxide in for stick blending, because this is the only way to get rid of those white dot streaks in the soap. If I don't stick blend it, I use that little frother blender thing, and it just doesn't get the clumps out. It doesn't get the white speckles out. So this was the only thing that works for me. So I try and use the bare minimum of liquid, enough to cover the blade. So when I blend, it'll all, you know, be blended in good. I was holding about, let me see, 5.30 ounces of coconut milk for the end, and I poured about 3 ounces or so in here, and I still have about 2 ounces or so left in the cup to add to, you know, the batch. I'm going to try to not use extra, because all of this is, it equals out to full water. I started out, you know, putting the coffee and everything in there. That's 30%. I started out with 30% liquid, and I saved 8% for the end, which is, you know, my coconut milk. So I'm trying not to use anything extra if I don't have to. But if I feel like my batter is not fluid enough at the end when I'm trying to mix in you know, the colors or whatever, then I'll just add a little extra. It's, you know, it's no big deal. Looks blended up real good. Yeah, that looks good. So, just take this out. There we go. Yep. That was a very good idea on my part. Because usually when I blend it, I have to put my hand over it to try and keep the titanium dioxide from splashing around, because it's not a lot of liquid to submerge the whole stick blender. I just have enough liquid to submerge the blade, not necessarily cover the holes, so I don't use extra liquid. Just enough to you know, to cover the blade so it blends properly. And that's the only way it worked. Dispersing the titanium dioxide works for me. Now I have oil soluble titanium dioxide from Brambleberry, but it just didn't work for me with the oil. So I mix it with anything but oil. Milk, well, not water, aloe vera juice or whatever, you know. I mix it with anything but. Okay. And I got a cup of water on the side for my stick blender to run that through so the soap and everything is not sticking to the blade. Let's see. Looking good. Oh, guys, you should smell that coffee butter. It smells so good. Move this a little bit. The coffee butter smells so good. Like strong brewed espresso coffee in a bag. It smells so good. Unfortunately, you know, the first time I used it, I made cold process. You can't smell any coffee fragrance. I mean, any coffee from it once it's saponified and everything. But initially, when you buy it, it smells so good. So I decided to use it as a super fat. Even though I'm under no misconceptions that that's going to make the scent of the coffee stick. It won't. But that's okay. I just wanted to use it as a super fat because I only had like 5% or so left of it. 6% left of it. So, which ironically, that is the usage they recommend is about 6%. I think when I used it the first time, I used like 8 or 10 or something percent of it. I don't know why I mean, the recommendations of usage rates is fine with the, oils and butters, but you gotta find your own niche. You gotta find your own recipe, find your own way. Just like with shea butter, the recommended usage is 10%. I use 25% of my soaps, and they're great. So you gotta find your own. Okay, so I'm gonna just let this sit, just like this, until something happens. It'll probably take a minute. I don't put the top on or anything. I just let it sit. That's it. It'll do what it do. The top doesn't really help you, in any way, really. So, I'm just going to let this sit for a while. Bring you back. I put the top on because I'm tired of sitting. This joint is thick. And I'm moving it. Yeah. This joint is pretty thick. Come on, baby, I need you to, that's too people. I need you to melt. Come on, baby, come on. This joint is thick. I hate this part, waiting for it to separate. Sometimes it gets really, really thick. Really, really thick. We're trying to wait for it to get to the applesauce stage. Sometimes it takes a little bit. Even cooking on high still takes a little bit. Not with every batch. Some batches. Not every batch will do this. It'll be so thick. I find that I've been getting, the soap has been like this since I started using the stick blender for you all's benefit. I've been running into this mess. Before, when I was just whisking, it didn't get like this. Half of mine to go back to whisking. That's what I might do, because I'm tired of the soap being like really, really thick like this. And it only does that when I use the stick blender. So, I don't know, guys. I might actually be going back to the whisk and leaving the stupid stick blender alone. I just don't like the soap being like this when it's cooking. It's too thick. Yeah, because usually, I didn't use a whisk. I didn't use a stick blender, and I didn't use a top. But ever since using the stick blender, it's just been really, really thick. And I just don't like that. Yeah, it takes a little bit longer with the whisk, but I ain't have to deal with this. So, I might just have to go back to the whisk and keep you guys on pause until it hits the applesauce stage or something, and instead of stick blending, because this mess is just annoying. It's just annoying. Waiting for it to break down. It's annoying. I put the top on to see if it was any, see if it would be any difference, but it really wasn't. It didn't do anything. So, I guess it doesn't even matter. Yeah. This is annoying. Whatever. That's so annoying. Maybe I can bring you guys back when it actually hits the next stage. Jeez. Yeah, I think I'm gonna give up the stick blender. I don't know. Yeah, I think I might. This just takes too long. Okay, so let's start this. It finally got to the applesauce stage. Finally. Jeez, I'm like, what is happening? Is it the coffee that made it get all thick and not do anything? I don't know. Is it the stick blender? I wonder if it's a stick blender. Maybe my next hot process video, I will just whisk like I used to and see if, you know, it goes back to the way it was, not as thick and everything. I just didn't have a problem with that. Looks good. I think I might have passed the applesauce stage and went straight into the mashed potato stage. That's what it looked like. Probably. I just let it sit for a really long time. I'm like, dude, what is with this soap? Every soap is different. I don't remember my other soap taking this long. I'm like, what is happening? And the other soap had more stuff in it. This one ain't got nothing in it. It's just made with coffee. Jeez. Alright. So this is extremely hot. Sorry about shaking the camera. I keep forgetting the camera's there. Let me do a zap test and see if it's ready. It looks like it might be. This is hot, so... I don't need such a big amount. Small. Hot, hot. So I'm going to zap test this small amount, and of course when it cools down, because it's definitely hot. And if it zaps, then I'll keep cooking it. If it doesn't, it's done. And I dropped it back in there. Come here, piece. Gotcha. Okay. Like to flatten it out. Now, zap testing, if you don't know, you take a little piece like this. I can either take my finger, lick it, touch this, and then touch it to my tongue. If it zaps me, sort of like a little battery volt, it's not going to kill you. Then I know it's not done and there's still active light and it has to keep cooking. If it doesn't, if it just tastes like nasty soap, then it's done. But I'll just, or you could just, the second way to zap test is to just put this to your tongue. Pretty much, that's what I do. It's done. Yeah, it's done. Surprisingly, it didn't taste that bad. Alright, so this is done. I'm going to put this, where's my top? Definitely going to need my top for this one. I'm going to get my second crock pot and that's going to be when I separate the batter. What I turn? I turned it on low. I didn't turn it off completely. Now when I separate the batter, I'm going to be using this one. This one on, I had this on warm. Alright, now while it's warming up, the original top to this broke. I was washing dishes, it was in the sink, and it just cracked. So this is the top to my smallest regular cooking pot that actually fit that. Alright, let me make sure I got both pots in the shot. Alright. Okay. Alright, so for this one, this is the main one. I'm going to turn this off for a second, or just completely. Now what I need is my sodium lactate. I'll do that first. I already put 1 teaspoon in at the beginning of my lye water because I forgot, thinking I was doing a cold process. I've been doing that for the past few videos. I forgot that I saved my sodium lactate for the end. So it's already put in 1 teaspoon, so I need 3 more. Sodium lactate. I got a hole in my glove now. At this point, it doesn't really matter. The soap is cooked. Okay. What else is getting added to this? Coffee butter, which is my super fat, and some of the coconut milk. Should I do the coconut milk first? I'm going to do the coconut milk first. Doesn't really matter. Yeah. Hopefully I'm not out of shot. Hopefully you guys can see what I'm doing to this pot. Okay, so let me move this over just in case. Gotcha, almost fell. In the shot? Yeah, okay. We're in camera. This is, I added coconut milk. I got some crusties on the top here that I'm actually going to take out, that I don't want to fall in the soup because I don't want the hard chunks. Sometimes it's still a chance you'll get some in there, but I don't want them in there. so I tend to take those out. That's alright. Get off my hand. I'm gonna take these gloves off. They're getting annoying. Okay. What is that knocking out? The extension cord. These little soap crunchies, put these in the trash. Okay. Okay. Trying to mix in all of the coconut milk. I'm not going to put the fragrance in just yet. What else is going in here right now? Nothing. I'm going to split off the batch first before I do anything else. Okay. Alright, I'm going to split off the batch before I do. Right. Tripping. Almost forgot my coffee butter sitting here. Not that one. So this is my crusty, get out of there. No, don't want the crusty. It just fell in there. Gotcha. Alright, coffee butter. My super fat at like 6%. This coffee butter smells so good. God, it smells good. You could just eat it. You probably could. Smells so good. See a little bit of oil there. What's that? Need some coffee butter. Okay. Try and get the bottom as best I can. Scrape around the side. The sides. For a minute there, I had the inkling that, you idiot, you didn't even press play. Are you warming up? Yeah. I'm turning it to low to begin. Yeah, it was on warm, but okay. I flung some soap. I stay flinging soap. That's apparently my thing. The soap flinger. Too aggressive with my stirring. Okay, so I think it's all mixed in there. And it does not smell like coffee at all. Which I figured it would. Okay, so it's starting to be a little warm. Okay. So I am splitting some off, put some titanium dioxide in that. Yeah. And then I'll split a little bit more off and add some yellow. Mix this up a little bit more. It's been sitting for a while. Yeah, I can't mix my titanium dioxide with this thing because it just doesn't get rid of the clumps. It does not get rid of the clumps for me, no matter what I did. So I stopped doing it. But it works great for all the other colors. Okay. So I'm going to split some off on the side first. I'm going to blend up. I blended this up in the beginning of the video, so I'm going to blend it one more time just to make sure that everything is still good. Done with the stick blender. Alright, so trying to carefully take this top off. Okay, let's start to separate. Okay, making sure, get back in there. I actually had another small crock pot like this, but I gave it to my cousin Jaleesa, and when I realized now that I probably could have still used it for like this, for this small, this is a 1.5 quart crock pot, which I usually use for infusions. Like I'll take some olive oil and infuse some lavender buds or chamomile flowers in it. That's usually what I use for this. Or if I'm making a 1 pound batch of soap. I think I made a 2 pound batch of soap in this one time, and it volcanoed because it was so filled to the top, I couldn't really stir it. So that was a mistake. That was a monster mistake. Okay, how much am I cracking off? Let's see. Okay. Alright. Turn this back on. Keep it nice and warm. I'll put the top on because so, alright, let me put this on here. Under this. Give you a second, 1 second, because now that that's separated, I have the coffee grounds and the fragrance. Now the fragrance is still going to go in here, just not right this second. Oh wait, I still need another container too. I need another cup for white. You know what? I probably could use this one. Once I pour all this out, this could be my white, because I need some white for the top. Alright, so this still needs fragrance, so I'm not going to pour all of it in there. Oh, it smells so good. Let's see if I like that. This is about 2 ounces of coffee grounds. I didn't measure it out that way. I just was doing a couple teaspoons and put it in this little bowl, and when I weighed it, it was about 2 ounces. It was 2 ounces exactly. It's like, oh, okay. So I want it scrubby, but I don't want it overly scrubby. So that's why I'm trying to see if that's enough. It looked like it might be enough. Yeah, I can see coffee grounds in every one. Okay. Yeah, it looked like it might be enough. Make sure I'm stirring this fragrance in good. So about 2 ounces of coffee grounds. I think this is too much. What I dumped in there probably was like an ounce or so. I don't want, too many. I don't want it to be overloaded with coffee grounds. I want it to be nice and scrubby, but not, too much. This looks like a lot already. So I think I may actually be done with the coffee grounds. Smells good. Yeah, that's enough coffee grounds. Actually, more than enough. This soap should be very scrubby. Very scrubby indeed. So this is going to get, before I section it off in a couple places. Where's that top? Alright, so titanium dioxide. I don't think I'm going to, should I use a smaller? See about this one. Smaller. drag racing outside or something. Still flicking soap everywhere. Yeah, this coffee latte, the vanilla content is 3.6. I'm wondering if I should put some cocoa powder. Nah, I'm gonna leave it the way, leave it to get as naturally brown that in there as it's gonna get. So it's not going, I don't think it's gonna get like, it might, yeah, it's 3 point something, still gonna get chocolate brown, I think. But I have seen some fragrances where the vanilla content is like 9, and you know it's gonna be black. Usually those are the high vanilla content ones are the ones that smell like pastries and, you know, cakes and cookies and candy. Usually those are the ones that turn brown, unfortunately. So I don't really buy those because I'm tired of brown, like everything turning brown. Vanilla stabilizer don't even last. So I mean, sure, if I'm incorporating that brown into my design or whatever, because that's already planned for it, but all those sweet smelling fragrances, they're just going to turn brown. Unless you find a sweet smelling one that doesn't, that would be great. Those are the ones I look for. Now y'all know I'm in a fragrance group called Savvy Intelliscents. But I bought this coffee latte one from New York Scent because we haven't put coffee fragrance on the pre-buy yet. So I only bought a small bottle. But I'm waiting for the coffee fragrance to get on the pre-buy so I can get a nice big 16-ounce bottle at $1 an ounce. That's what I'm waiting for. Sorry about this boring part, guys. I'm just trying to get a light. I realize now, well, I knew it wasn't going to get white, of course, because of the coffee I used in the beginning. And what else? And the coffee butter, and you know, and well, there's no fragrance in here, but let me see if it's turning brown. Surprisingly, no, not yet. Sometimes the fragrances with high vanilla content will start turning immediately. But this one looks pretty good. Yeah, looks good. See what I can do now. Get the rest out of there. Okay. I'm going to leave that little bit at the bottom of there because I'm still going to put some of this in there to section that off for the top of the soap. I mean, it won't really be white like I thought. My crazy behind forgot that the coffee I start with is still going to make everything brown. So I forgot about that part. I'm thinking like white on the top, but no, it's not going to be white. Unless I make up a separate cold process batch right now, which I am not doing. Just so you know, I am not doing that. Okay. So. Okay. I wish I could stick blend this because sometimes that brings out the titanium dioxide a whole lot better when you stick blend it into your soap, but this is too thick for that. The stick blender will probably blow out trying to mix in here. So, okay. Ooh, that was a lot of soap that went over the side. See, flicking soap. Get back in there. Yes, sir. Okay. Where's my sponge? to put some of this in here. This is for the top. Let's see how much I can put on the top. This is going to be unfragranced. Let me see, 5-pound molds. I don't really need that much on the top. You know, just a sprinkle. Let's see, because I still have to split another piece off, just a little bit for the caramel color. I'm really interested to see how this soap is going to turn out. Alright. Alright, this is going to be the top. It don't look like much, but I just need like to sprinkle a little bit at the, or you know, spread it all over on the top. Not a much. I don't need a lot of it. Not a lot of it at all. Okay. Okay. So. This being like this, I'm going to cover this. I'm going to cover it, and I'm going to just sit it to the side until I'm ready for it. Now, I have my other container for the yellow. I don't need a lot of it, just a little, just some, just for like accent. Hopefully, I'll be able to see it in the soap. Let me see. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, that looks good. Okay. Alright, so I'm gonna turn that off. Sorry about the shaking. Ooh, flinging fragrance. Actually, this got a little thick. That thing's already done. Okay. Back to this one, because this one is not mixed in all the way. Sorry about shaking the camera. Get it at the bottom. Make sure you stir it up good. I think my Taiwan swirl soap leaked a little bit of fragrance on top. It was coming through, just like some beads of it on top. Because it was 4 different colors. I think the one that was leaking out the fragrance was the activated charcoal part, because I couldn't really tell whether it was mixed in good. I tried to stir it, you know, as crazy as I could, but it looked like it was all mixed in, but because the cup was so dark and so black, I couldn't really tell whether it was mixed in all the way. But it only leaked a little bit, not a lot. It wasn't like a whole bunch sitting on top or anything. It was just like little beads of it coming out on top of the soap. I just put like a napkin on it and and left it alone. Okay. We are looking good here. Alright, we're looking good, so. Crazy behind, I forgot to cover this one. Good thing it's still warm. Forgot to cover it. Alright, so let's put in our yellow and see how this does. This one feels like it's getting thick on me, so what I'm going to do is, where is my, I'm going to add a little bit more coconut milk in here, a little bit more, try and loosen it up some. I'm not afraid to, use a little extra liquid. That's fine. This, and to make the color, I used a tablespoon from my soft oils. Yeah, I didn't add extra. I just took it from the oils, the bucket, or bowl, if you want to say. So it wasn't nothing extra. So, time to start putting this bad boy together. Alright. Let's see. Where's my sponge? Here we go. Get a couple pieces of napkin. Alright, who do I want to spoon first? You? Alright, so let's wipe this off. Wipe all this yellow off of here. Okay. Now, so let me check this. All right. Sure there's not too many. Okay. Alright. Alright, so let me check this as well. It's not all that different in color. A little bit. This is going to get darker though. So now, how am I going to do this is, let's see, put in like 3 different spots. Let's see. Put this around. Okay. You know what? I should have used the other spoon. Why is this keep knocking against the? So annoying. Anyway. sponge. Okay. Let's do this. I hate the fact that this thing keeps knocking. It's so annoying. Is the bowl in the pot kind of rocking? It's making that noise every time I try and stir or whatever. So, this is what we're going to do. The shaking is so annoying. I wasn't doing it the last time. Well, dropped another cup of water. Yeah, well, I'll get it later. My stick blender was sitting on the stove in a cup of water, and I kicked the cord, which knocked the whole thing over. Yeah, well. The water just runs out of the stove onto the floor, and I just get the mop. Sitting on the spoon. Okay. Okay, let's unplug these crops. Oh, I moved the camera. Sorry, guys. Can you see me? Okay. Got my ladle. I would pick it up, but it's still hot. The pot is still hot. First of all, the stick blender is still on the floor. I just realized I didn't pick it up. Okay, so the top still got to get stirred. You got to slam this down on the floor to get all the air bubbles out and to level everything out. I'm going to wipe this off so I can stir the top when I put it on. Put it in the microwave for 20 seconds so you can loosen everything up. Okay. Just coffee grounds I'm flicking on top, just a little bit, not a lot at all. If I had some brown glitter or something, I would have used it, but I don't have any, so I wasn't going to put anything on top. But in my mind at the time when I thought about that, I also thought about having white on top, but I forgot about the coffee I used to make the soap. So the top did not come out white, of course, duh. But in my mind, when I was thinking of making the soap, I had a white top in mind, but forgot that if I wanted a white top, I probably should not have used coffee to begin with. So that's it. Yeah, that's it. Everything. where's my soap sponge? Thank you guys for watching another video. I hope you stay tuned for the cutting of this crazy video, and hit the thumbs up and subscribe. And thank you guys for coming with me on my journey of soap making. Even though everything always seems like it's going to go left when I'm making soap, sometimes those be the best soaps. I'll show you guys. It smells so good. Thank you. And this is Sophia signing out.